Have you ever faced a boss whose prejudice destroyed your workplace? I joined with high hopes of a supportive and progressive work environment. That optimism faded quickly when I met Mr. Thomas, our new manager. At first, his comments were subtle, a dismissive laugh here, an offhand remark there, but soon they grew overtly prejudiced. I noticed he singled out colleagues of color during meetings and dismissed their ideas without a second thought. His attitude wasn't just unsettling, it was damaging morale. Determined to protect my team and myself, I began quietly documenting his behavior. Every comment and action piled up, forming a troubling pattern that I knew I couldn't ignore any longer. It started on a regular Tuesday morning. Our weekly meeting was underway when Mr. Thomas began critiquing a project proposal from one of our senior analysts, Marcus. "I'm not sure this aligns with our company's vision," he remarked in a tone that implied more than just professional disagreement. Later, as the discussion moved on, I overheard him mutter, "Maybe if Marcus spoke proper English, his ideas would be taken seriously." My blood ran cold. It wasn't just an offhand remark, it was a reflection of a deep-seated bias. Over the next few weeks, these incidents multiplied. In one instance, he publicly praised an intern for bringing fresh ideas, only to add, "But perhaps we should teach them a bit about our way of doing things." In another meeting, he interrupted a brilliant presentation from a colleague of Asian descent, reducing her input to a mere aside and dismissing it with a condescending smile. I began to feel the weight of his comments, not just on me, but on the entire team. The once collaborative atmosphere turned tense and anxious. Determined to address the situation, I started taking meticulous notes, recording times and the context of each incident. I confided in a few trusted colleagues, and to my dismay, they too had been subjected to similar remarks. Together, we realized that Mr. Thomas's behavior was not an isolated case of poor management. It was systemic discrimination. One afternoon, after a particularly harsh performance review that left one of my colleagues in tears, I knew something had to change. I arranged a meeting with the HR department, armed with my detailed records and the testimonies of others who had suffered under his management. I explained in clear and measured terms how his words and actions were undermining our confidence and stifling innovation. The HR manager, Ms. Rivera, listened intently, her expression grave. "We take these matters very seriously," she assured me, promising a full investigation. The days that followed were fraught with tension. Mr. Thomas, unaware of the storm gathering against him, continued his usual behavior, but the staff began to speak up. Anonymous feedback started circulating, and more colleagues came forward with accounts of his racist remarks. The atmosphere in the office shifted from one of fear to one of cautious hope. Then came the turning point. During a crucial board meeting, I was asked to present our team's quarterly report. As I detailed our achievements, Mr. Thomas interjected with a disparaging comment aimed at one of our junior team members. The room fell silent. This was it, the moment we could no longer stand by. I took a deep breath and, with as much calm as I could muster, addressed the room. "Excuse me," I began, my voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline. "I'd like to remind everyone that our strength lies in our diversity and the unique perspectives we all bring to the table. Comments that undermine that value have no place here." A murmur of agreement spread throughout the room. For the first time, it felt like the collective voice of our team was standing up against prejudice. Mr. Thomas looked taken aback, his confident demeanor faltering as the board members exchanged concerned glances. The investigation that followed was thorough. HR reviewed the documented incidents, interviewed multiple employees, and even examined internal communications. The evidence was overwhelming. In a formal meeting with the board, Mr. Thomas was confronted with the findings. Despite his attempts to justify his behavior as cultural differences or misinterpretations, the board made it clear his actions were unacceptable. He was placed on administrative leave pending further disciplinary action. In the weeks that followed, the office atmosphere began to heal. Human resources organized sensitivity training and open forums for discussion. I was commended for my courage in speaking out, and colleagues expressed gratitude for finally feeling heard. It wasn't an overnight fix. There was still work to be done to rebuild trust and ensure a respectful environment for everyone. I learned that standing up against injustice can be daunting, but it is necessary for creating a fair and inclusive workplace. Mr. Thomas's tenure became a stark reminder that prejudice has no place in progress, and that change often begins with a single brave voice. Although the scars of those painful months lingered, they also served as a catalyst for lasting improvement, a testament to the power of unity in the face of discrimination. Today, as I walk through our office, I see renewed energy and collaboration. I see colleagues confidently sharing ideas, unburdened by the fear of being undermined. And I know that by speaking out, we transformed a toxic situation into an opportunity for growth, a lesson that our workplace and our world desperately needs.